Hi everyone, my name is Luke Atkinson, and I will be discussing how art, stepping away from Catholicism, created an opportunity for more creativity while also putting women at the center of these pieces. Throughout the semester, we have seen the major role that Catholicism has played in art history, with the majority of the pieces viewed having some influence of Catholicism, whether through telling stories from the Bible or through religious imagery. Catholicism has played an immense role in shaping art throughout history. We can see the influence of Catholicism in many of the art styles viewed throughout the semester. Styles like Byzantine, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque art were all dominated by Catholic imagery. Through iconography and theme, we are constantly seeing the influence of Catholicism. Some of the most famous pieces of art are the product of the Church and its influences. The Church patronized art as a way of increasing their social and political influence. They wanted the common folk to witness their divine authority and ensure their allegiance to the Church and God. Because of this, we see pieces like The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci, the Sistine Chapel ceiling, a fresco done by Michelangelo, the David, a bronze statue done by Donatello, and much, much more. While undeniably beautiful, these works are one of a seemingly infinite number of works of art telling the same story over and over. This brings me to my main point. When artists chose to create art focusing on themes not tied to the church, we see an influx of creativity. We are being told new stories, allowing us more insight to different cultural backgrounds and much more. This brings me to my personal MVP. My MVP is The Birth of Venus, done by Sandro Botticelli, completed circa 1485. With a medium of tempera on canvas, The Birth of Venus is an Italian Renaissance painting depicting a scene inspired by the writings of the poet Homer. In this piece, we see the goddess of love, sex, beauty, and fertility, Venus, in the foreground. To the right of Venus, we see the goddess of spring, Pomona, welcoming Venus into the world, and to the left of Venus, we see the god of the west wind, Zephyrus, carrying the scene of Aura while blowing a guiding wind towards Venus. Each subject in this piece is painted in great detail. Botticelli set out to accurately depict the human body, showing aspects of realism which was heavily used during the Italian Renaissance. We also see Venus in a contrapposto position. This was a technique used to further display realism, showing the dispersion of weight along with a twist in Venus's torso. Botticelli uses nudity in a way that shows innocence and purity. According to an article produced by the ItalianRenaissance.org titled Botticelli's Birth of Venus, last accessed May 23, 2025, it was uncommon to view scenes of nudity during the Middle Ages, with few exceptions in specific circumstances. Botticelli didn't subscribe to the notion that nudity is inherently sexual, an idea produced by the Church. He utilized nudity as a way of showing us the innocence of Venus. While Venus's nudity displays innocence, Botticelli is still participating in a practice harmful to women. In an essay catalog titled Women Portrayal in the Italian Renaissance, released May 9, 2023, women were easily sexualized during this era, producing images serving the male gaze. We see this idealistic perfect nude body of Venus, showing us that while the act of depicting nudity may not have been done maliciously, it still contributes to harmful ideas. The next work of art I would like to discuss is La Primavera. La Primavera is a sister painting to The Birth of Venus, done by Sandro Botticelli circa 1481 to 82, with a medium of tempera on panel. It continues the story of Venus, depicting a party taking place shortly after her birth, celebrating her new life. A lot of the iconography in La Primavera is similar to The Birth of Venus. We see Zephyrus, Venus, and Aura make an appearance, but we are also shown new characters like the three Graces representing beauty, joy, and grace, the messenger of the gods Mercury, and the goddess Flora. According to an article titled Spring Begins with Botticelli, produced by The Guardian, La Primavera is one of the first large-scale European paintings to tell a story that was not Christian. The very idea of art as a pleasure and not a sermon began in this meadow. This is a testament to the idea that art focusing on themes outside of the church opened up new creative outlets. La Primavera and The Birth of Venus are unique in that the story of a woman is being told without the idea that a man must save them from themselves, a theme common in art produced at this time. A book titled Woman and Religion in Medieval and Renaissance Italy by Daniel Bornstein discusses the subservient lifestyle women endured. Bornstein goes on to discuss how we see this subservience in works of art at the time. Women are portrayed in art as sinful, leading to this notion that men need to conquer this sin, creating a woman who listens and does as she's told. These are just some of the ways in which the church has plagued the artistic expression of female characters. The book Women in Italian Renaissance, Art, Gender, Representation, Identity by Paola Tinagli discusses the ways in which society influences the representation of women in art. Quote, images of women still appear to the viewer through the screen of the ideals of the society in which they were produced. Ideals of beauty, of behavior, of display, In them, we will see not an individual, but a cipher. Botticelli is guilty of this. He depicts this highly idealized, unrealistic body of Venus, forcing the viewer to be an active participant in this flawed system. The journal article, Woman, Art, and Ideology, Questions for Feminist Art Historians, by Griselda Pollock, covers how the patriarchy stripped women of participating in art, while also molding the ways in which women are perceived in art. Pollock states, inasmuch as society is structured by unequal relations at the point of material production, so too is it deeply founded on unequal relations between the sexes. The nature of societies in which art has been produced has not only been, for instance, feudal or capitalistic, but in historically varied ways patriarchal and sexist. Every piece of art will show the influence of the patriarchy, whether done intentionally or unintentionally. My goal in this research video isn't to demonize religious art as a whole, but to acknowledge the harmful roles it has placed on the expression of women in art. Stepping away from Catholicism allows artists to tell new and unique stories. It broke away from the repetitive, endless retelling of stories, while also creating a space telling stories of women leading the narrative.